Okay, I know some of you like these unboxing things. Nothing really exciting this time, but you may find it interesting. This one, it's a camel lube. But this is special. This is a graphite lube, if I could get to it. Maybe they put it in one of them funny envelopes. Envelopes? Bags. I did sharpen it, but it still needs more. This stuff has been recommended to me by a Triumph motorcycle guy. Dry Slide. Found it on look at the box. Amazon. It is for squirting down the cables to lubricate them with clutch cable, brake cable. Although my brake is hydraulic, but the clutch cable anyway. Good shit. Shake well and often. I often do that. So that's for my motorcycle. Don't need these. Got too many of these things. They can go in the trash. And this can go in the recycle bin. And this one. I bet these don't open. Proved you wrong, Gary. Nah. Now this one is from good old Snug Barrett. Oh, my dog loves that stuff. Two things in here. Well, well. This is the water pump kit to rebuild the water pump that I'm going to sell on eBay. This is the kit. What is rather disappointing now, unless I'm wrong here, and we will see. It says this is a padded bag. I am wrong. It does come with the gasket. So when I've done this pump, it'll be on eBay for $100, or obviously you can contact me directly, and it'll be $100 plus shipping. So you get a new impeller, you get the new seal, which is most important, you get the new shaft, again, which is most important, and you get the new gasket. Now, when I sell it with the flange as well. And you can either have a square or a round flange, that's your choice. The only thing I will say is I do not push the flange on fully, because I was informed by S&G Barrett, and it's true, that these shafts are approximately 10 millimeters shorter than they should be. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's 10 millimeters shorter than the original. So of course, consequently, it doesn't always line up. And if I push the flange on fully, then you're going to have to do like I've done on my car, and that's put a spacer in there. Or you have to try and pull the flange off, which is not easy. So what I do is I can do one of two things, and the choice will be whoever buys it. I'll press the flange on partially and then leave it, or I will leave the flange off completely and then you can press it on yourself. That was an advert, wasn't it? There you go. Anyway, so there's that. Also, I got 2 exhaust rings to join the 2 exhaust rings I already have. I've done that so many times, bought parts. Oh, I must get that. And I've already bought it years ago. So anybody who needs a couple of exhaust rings, let me know. I can't remember what I paid for them. It wasn't a lot, but I'll sell them at half price. Whatever S&G Barrett are selling 2 of these for, I'll sell it at half price. Plus, of course, there's going to be a shipping charge, which is, sorry, I don't know, whatever it is for a flat rate padded envelope is probably like $7. Okay, now let's get on and get to the powder coating that I keep promising to be done, and we will go out back now and do that. With all the brackets I've been making up, by the way, this is all I've ended up with. Out of what was a 3-foot length. I think it was 3 foot. I think I've still got enough to make my brackets for my condenser. So I've got to make those brackets up. And I'm going to make a bracket up for the windscreen washer bottle. Wow. I think I'm going to be a bracketeer. All right, let's get that powder coating done. Okay, one more unboxing to do. I've bought this specifically for my brother's visit. We are going to fit the exhaust system on my Mark II. And that means we need to wheel our bottoms around underneath my ramp. Unfortunately, my garage is not high enough for us to stand up and do it. And also my brother, he can't stand up for long, you know, he's getting old. And I've had to buy him this stool from Harbour Freight. Now, he can't take it home with him, it's going to live here. Why? Well, because I want to keep it here. But it will keep his fat ass off the ground because it takes up to 300 pounds. And he's so heavy. Oh, I mean, I'm a lightweight compared to him. Ooh. Oh, this is a special unboxing. This could be fun. I think what we're going to have to do is uh-oh, something fell on the floor. Oh. It's my brother's special thing, you know, he likes that. Nothing like a good bit of hydraulics. Difference between a mechanical digger and a giraffe. One's got hydraulics, the other one's got hydraulics. It's an old joke. Oh, look, there's a nice padded seat for his delicate little bottom. Isn't that lovely? I'll probably have to give him a video on how to operate this. Ooh, look. Little cat thing. He might like that. Ooh, look at that. I know, Trevor, you're excited. Look. Whoops. Ooh. 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 Okay, that's how to get it up, which I'm sure you remember. How do we get it down? Is there a valve? Ooh, this is tricky, Trevor. There isn't a lever. Oh, I'm sure once he gets his ass on there, that'll just come straight down. But look, he's got this little tray for all his toys, all his nuts, and his bolts too. But don't forget, he's old, like me, so your nuts are very low. And any of you that is taking this seriously, you're a fool. me and my brother bust on each other constantly, and I love him dearly. So don't think I'm being nasty to him. I'm not. This is just, it's just fun. Live today. Tomorrow you die. Have a laugh. It's more fun that way. And those of you that feel sorry for my brother, please don't. I assure you, he will exact his revenge upon me, as he always has done. When we were young, we slept in bunk beds. Look it up. I was in the top bunk. He was in the bottom bunk. Quite often I'd find myself on the floor because he would push from below and kick me out of bed. Sorry, it was fun. That's what brothers do. Okay, this section of the video is to do with powder coating. So those of you that have seen me do powder coating, heard about it, don't give a shit about it, then you might just want to fast forward. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. Had to adjust the camera. I'm getting used to it. All right, so now I got here, I have the gearbox mounting bracket. It's a fucking heavy fucker. I have my water pump, which I have yet to blast. This is ready. I have the two brackets for the gearbox mount. They'll get a quick blast. Nothing special. Don't care about the finish. Just want to protect it. Here I have my powders, and in case you haven't realized, this little booth here, which is made the exact same size as my oven here, this is a domestic oven, cost me $25 I think. Don't give a shit about the grill, the plates on the top. The oven, that's all I'm interested in. Don't give a shit about the warming drawer and all that crap, of course. So it's just a standard oven. I set, when I'm going to do this, and I'll show you, I set the dial, obviously, to bake, and then I go to 395 degrees. Ballpark. You have to judge with the powder coat you're going to use. The one I'm using, which is from Caswell's, is approximately 395. Doesn't matter. Hang on a second. Can I get it checked? There you go. This is my powder coat. This is my sandblasting cabinet. Not the best in the world, not the worst, but it does the job. Do you need to powder coat? I'm sorry, teeth aren't working today, and the brain cells following. Do you need to sandblast anything you're going to powder coat? No. What you do need to do is clean it as best you can, and then what I do is I spray it with brake cleaner, just to get off my greasy little finger paw marks all over it. So that's what you should do. So this is my ridiculously cheap ass setup. It's just out the back of my house. So on the left is my powder coating booth. On the right is my sandblasting thingy. And over there is my oven. There is also this other piece here, which is the vacuum for the sandblaster, which is currently broken, so I don't worry about it. Okay, let me now go and start blasting. And once I finish blasting, then I'll come back to you guys and show you the powder coating. Here are the pieces in my sandblasting cabinet. They don't need much. I'm just going to give them a light blasting. Fuck's sake. Sorry. Let me let it finish. I'm going to give them a light blasting and then I can powder coat them. Okay, here are my pieces now, ready. I have soaked them, drowned them, washed them in brake cleaner, and I'm not going to touch them now with my hands. That's just because my hands are greasy, aren't they? Even though you don't think your hands are greasy, they are. One thing I want to say to you guys, when you are powder coating, put one of these on. You do not want to be breathing that shit. Okay? Now, you know, it doesn't fucking matter whether you die or not. I don't care. But, you know, you just don't, yeah, you don't want to be breathing that shit, okay? So put a face mask on of some description. Not a shield, a face mask to, you know, filter out the crap. I'm about to powder coat this, and I will show you it once I have powder coated it before I put it in the oven. Now, something that you may or may not care about, this is the back. In other words, this is the arse end that goes in the oven. I spray that first, then I turn this piece of, I turn the whole shit round, and I do that by turning the rack around, not each individual piece, and then spray it from the other side. Then, when I open the oven, I can feed it in. You've got to figure out your own logistics on this. Don't expect me to hold your hand all the way through. Right, here is my powder. Gloss black. There's my gun. I'm going to put them together. Sorry, you're going to have to deal with this fucking view. I'll try and do it within shot. Gun. For some reason there seems to be a piece of tape around it. Put in gun. Put in powder. Now this powder has already been sifted. Something I suggest you do so you don't get any lumps. And I give it a good old shake. Now, I grab my airline. And yes, you will need an airline. And you have to decide on what pressure is good. That to me is a good flow. So now I'm going to powder coat these pieces. I can't show you that. Can I? Maybe I can. Hang on. I'll have to edit this. Fuck. I'll have to edit a fuck. Hang on a second. I'm going to see. Okay, all right, let's see. Yeah, I can just edit out the shit, can't I? Right. Now, with this, you have your negative, positive, positively negative charge.
You're going to have to figure out how to use the gun yourselves, okay? Right. And it's just like spraying paint. Only a darn sight easier. And you can keep doing this as long as you like until you've built up the level of thickness that you want. Now you see why you need the fucking mask. Of course, where I had the clamp, there is an area that has not been covered. Could I have put it on there originally? Yes, but I didn't because I was in a really good contact. And now I've finished up with that piece that's the problem. Now, I do the ones at the back. You may think, why am I doing the ones at the back when I could bring them to the front? Because I want to cover both sides. You don't have to adhere to my methods. If you don't like them, that's your choice. This is what I do. This is what works for me. If I was Jay Leno, I'd have one of my staff do it. No, that is not a criticism of him. I'm just jealous. No, I'm not jealous. I'm envious. No, I want his money. No, I don't want his money. I just want the shit he's got. Because that's nice, isn't it, huh? He worked for it. Fucking good on him, that's what I say. Well done, Jay. You're a lucky bastard. No, you're not lucky. You worked for it. Luck has fuck all to do with it, Jay. Sorry, I've gone on a tangent here. Right. Now, as I mentioned, this is the back. So now I'm going to turn the fucking thing around. Without dropping it and without banging it. Right, don't know whether you can see it or not. It is covered on the back, but not enough. So now you need to cover it on the back. I'm just going to grab that one there, get your gun, press your button, and on the back here, I don't care about this plate. I just roughed it up so that it could accept some powder. Just a little tint and hit for you. If you get too close, you will blow off the powder coat. If you're not happy with it, before you cook it, hit it and all the powder coat will fall off. Right, and any areas you do not want powder coat, tape it up, cover it. Some of it you can take off afterwards, some of it you can't. It's just easier if you master that first. I haven't done that on these connections here. I'll clean those off. But you will note I have covered the threads. So let's get this baby baking and then we'll come back with the results for you in a second or two. Alright, just one final step for your powder coating. These are two that I've recently used, red and black, doesn't matter what colour they fucking well are. I live in Arizona, as I mentioned many times. It gets fucking hot here, and my powder coating sandblasting shed is pretty much outside. You know, there's a screen, but etc. So if I leave these out here, they will go to blocks. They will turn into solid rocks. Doesn't take much heat to turn these expensive powders into a rock. So if you live somewhere where it gets very warm, don't keep your powders in your garage or your shed or wherever you do your powder coating, because you will waste money. I have done it. I know, I speak from bitter experience. Now at the moment it's pretty cold here in Arizona, it's like the 70s, so you know, these are okay, but out of habit I take them inside. So now let's see how the powder coating came out. Please God it's good. Sorry, don't believe in him. Alright, here they are, straight out of the oven. I can tell you right now they're fucking hot. Let's see, how have things gone? The cable here I'm not too worried about, in all honesty. Just want a little protection on it. The brackets that are going inside the car, they look okay. The main plate that is going underneath the car. Now this is a side that I didn't give a shit about, and it looks pretty fucking good. I mean, shit, you can see my reflection in it, which is, I know that's not good, but it is, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna let this cool down now before I can do anything with it. Next thing I'm gonna do is fit it to the car, which will be in the next few moments for you, but probably about half an hour or so for me, because as I said, it's fucking hot. I cannot touch it right now. It's just come out of the oven. Now, there's the thing. You have to decide how long you want to cook this shit for. There will be guidelines. For me, the guidelines I have for this at, I want to say 395 degrees ballpark. These are not numbers you can quote me on. And I bung it in there for 15 minutes.
You will have to figure it out. Now, do note that it is different for different colors and finishes. Also, one other thing that I have not mentioned that I will do now, if you are going to be powder coating aluminium, quite often aluminium is very porous, and it is always a good idea to bake it before you powder coat it and clean out all the shit that comes out of the pores. It is not the easiest thing to powder coat. It is a real painus inus rectimus. So you will have to figure out how best to do it. I do mine. I blast them. I powder. I clean them with brake cleaner. Then I bake them, and I bake them for like 30-40 minutes, and then powder coat them once I've cleaned up all the crap that comes out of the porous part. But it still sometimes bites you in the ass. So just be aware, steel is not so bad. Aluminium can be a real pain in the ass. And they are different temperatures too. So you have to look out for that. All right, let's go and fit this baby to the car. Well, in a few minutes for me. Okie dokie smoky. Here we go. Now, these are all now powder coated. So let's have a look and see what we got. There you go, that's one. I find the seam. Seems to be avoiding me. There you go. Nicely powder coated. Nobody's ever going to see this unless they strip the car down. But it protects it. Same there. Sorry if this is boring. It was a request from one of my subscribers. Look, I tell you what, I can tell you exactly what that was. There was some oil there and I didn't clean it off properly. Doesn't matter, as I said, never ever going to be seen. Now, hang on a second. Let me give this a little wipey. Why? Because I had a big fucking handprint on it. That is the side you are going to see underneath the car if you crawl on your belly to look underneath my car. I just cleaned up my metal and powder, and I did lay the powder coat on thickly. Now this is the side I didn't give a shit about. I just roughed it up and then blew it with powder coat. And it still looks pretty fucking good in my book. So, there you go. I'm sorry, you are not going to see this mounted until tomorrow. So you're going to have to come back tomorrow. Why? Because I want to finish this now and get the video out there. And it takes me a while to edit it. It's now almost 5 o'clock my time, and apparently the wife wants to eat. I can't think why. You know, why would you want to eat? There is the earth strap for the engine mount. I will clean up the connections, obviously, make them nice and shiny, and the rest of it, well, let's see. Okay, so it bends back and forth. It went, but powder coat stayed on there. So, hey, that should be good. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, you know the usual. Who cares? So, get out in that garage now. Go do some shit. Sorry, that was probably very frightening. It was for me.